So this week we'll talk about ChatGPT just rolled out a browser. I did a bunch of tests on VO 3.1, literally hundreds, and also a few on Sora too. And then I also saw recently sort of a video automator, like, can you automate videos? So I'll show some of that.
Okay, well, let's get into it.
So the first thing is Claude Skills. Well, they call it Agent Skills, but really it's more about kind of giving a set of instructions or folders where Claude can then go and do things without trying to figure out too much, because you're actually kind of directing it on what to do.
So is this taking the agent stuff back a step and simplifying it a bit?
To some extent, because, and I guess one of the things we'll talk about later is that sort of AI agents that can just run everything for you is, could still be quite on the horizon. Like Andrej believes it's still about 10 years out to where we'll really have it kind of, in the sense, 10 years out in the sense like, would I actually use an agent to replace someone at work? But this something is where you can kind of guide, I think of it almost as like, when you see those automators where you have a workflow where you start here, you go here, you do that, right? It's like that, but you can actually do it based on, files. And the important thing with this is that you can actually teach it to, like, let's say, build a PowerPoint presentation in the way you want it. So it's like you say, hey, you go here, you look at this stuff, then you build me this presentation, right? So you might have this use case where you want it to do one thing over and over again, and you kind of train it a little bit and give it the materials on what to do. It doesn't have to go out and look so much. It's like you go here, you look here, you do this, and you go and you do that.
So repeatable steps.
Yeah, kind of guide it. So skills can stack together. They'll identify what's needed and coordinate their use. One thing that was interesting, it was saying that you don't need to. So like right now I have my proposal builder, right? And it's a very sequential, like you start here, you go through and you do in this order. So supposedly for this one, you wouldn't need that so much. So it will use the reasoning to try and understand what it needs to do.
Yeah.
But you can, build it with different things and only loads when you need it to. The idea there is you're not using up too many tokens,
Yeah.
But no, I think it is quite an interesting one. Just this next step in sort of controlling what the AI does and making things for you in a way you want them to do it. Another one was that ChatGPT released Atlas. I'll just play a little video.
Is this like Google Maps?
No.
Oh, this is the browser.
Yeah.
I mean, Gemini's kind of already doing this in Chrome anyway. It'll be interesting to see how they compare.
Yeah, I mean, do you mean their AI mode in search?
No, doesn't Gemini have doesn't, on the side of Chrome there's an AI. Well, maybe there's not. Maybe I'm imagining that. Yeah.
No, I mean, they do have, it was Comet, I think, what was Google's thing for this? But anyway, so you can potentially even have it go shopping for you. I mean, we'd already seen precursors to this, right? We'd already seen the whole shopping thing. Comet from Perplexity had already been doing something like this, where whatever you have on screen, it interacts with it, right? So, but as far as I know, Comet from Perplexity doesn't have the shopping ability. And the idea that it can actually kind of go out and do access. Like, when I had ChatGPT buy me groceries, right? So this is all built on ChatGPT 5. It can do more agentic work for you, use your browser. So this has been a long time coming, because I must have almost been like a year ago when ChatGPT had that one prototype, but it can only work with a few sites, and it didn't work that very well.
I can see myself using it already. I feel like, ChatGPT has the advantage that it gets to build everything natively, AI natively, whereas Google is now in the, you see, can you do it?
I don't know, did this just happen?
Maybe it just must have.
Because I have never seen this screen before.
I haven't seen it before either.
What is AI mode? No, I mean, so that's, but that's...
Oh, it's there too for me. Oh, but this
So
is
there must-
really
there must be-
just like a ChatGPT type thing.
And they only must be doing this because of literally ChatGPT is rolling out.
Yeah, I can see.
So now all of a sudden they're rolling out. But this is...
I love seeing the old guys get disrupted.
this is a bit weird to me because I think what makes the whole browser thing work, which is what Comet did even, is that you have it as a side interface, right? So, because I want to be able to interact with what's on the side of my screen, not like, so this is Comet, which my neighbor, he had access, but I think it's mostly rolled out to people on, but see, now you can ask about the page. It will summarize it for you. And then the ChatGPT Atlas, then you can actually buy stuff and sort of have it interact with the browser probably better than what. So I think the powerful thing that ChatGPT has, right, is that we already saw that they're integrating some apps inside of ChatGPT now.
Yeah.
You don't have to step out. So what they were showing in that demo was that not only will it give you a summary and do the usual AI stuff, but you could literally launch then Coursera, you could, actually interact with some app that's connected to that.
I imagine it's going to keep a thread. So if you're jumping from website to website in the browser side, the thread is going to stay the same and it's going to remember everything. So if you were doing research and you were you watch a YouTube video, then you go to the Wikipedia page about something, and then you're like, oh, that's a really interesting thing, and then you jump somewhere else, and then it's going to be able to keep all of that thread of research, that thought train, and then summarize it for you.
Well, maybe not, but I think one of the literally, I can't remember if it's in this demo but that's exactly what it is. One of these things is where if you left off, you can come back to it. So I know one of the things that it is hey, you're going to pick up where you left off when you're doing the web.
Yeah.
To be honest, that wouldn't be bad, especially if I could reduce some tabs and not because I have these tabs and I'm I need to go back to this.
It's a nightmare. And that's every freaking open tab is an open loop.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, drives me nuts.
Exactly. So if you could just close stuff out and be
know that you can come back to it, so you know it's captured somewhere.
Yeah,
it's actually that's gonna. I feel like this gonna help people's mental health as much as anything.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but I just wonder how good it is. You know what I mean? So that's ChatGPT Atlas. So we've already been seeing ChatGPT working towards this, and so we'll see now. I'm sure everyone's gonna be testing this out in the next few weeks. Now, this was interesting. George podcast. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he tends to have these he'll even get the CEO of Microsoft. He'll get some pretty big names onto his podcast. It's more of an intellectual podcast. But for me, it was just really interesting because Andrej, I think he's one of the people that helped kind of set up and establish OpenAI. He's big in the AI space, and just listening to him was you can tell he's very intelligent. He's got a lot of thoughts in his head, and they're sort of well organized and transcript.
So I have a theory on this. So it's like the flying cars. Okay, there's this big burst of technology, and then in the 60s we were flying cars are only around the corner, but actually they proved to be a much more intractable problem than anyone imagined. And I feel or curing cancer or something like that. So the AGI is actually we've made this big leap forward, but actually the problems to overcome before you get to AGI are actually going to be a lot harder than everyone imagines. Just my theory, but it sounds like this is what he's saying.
Yeah, he says a lot of things. I think he said certain things that people initially really grabbed onto, because there's a lot of people who are saying that everything's a big AI bubble. And they grabbed a few parts of what he was saying, basically that AI is not really there. But actually, if you listen carefully to what he's saying, is that he actually already uses AI a lot himself, right? To do coding, to even do vibe coding. He's just saying that in terms of like having an AI that can sort of come into an environment and start to learn, almost like a human baby, so to speak, right? That we don't have. And that is kind of, I mean, I don't really know, but I mean, artificial general intelligence, sort of that general intelligence where he even kind of brings up the idea that like, I'd never heard of it explained like this, but it's sort of like, the AI systems are trained on like, what is it, millions of years of data or research, right? And he says it's like, when they get that, it's still a bit fuzzy to them. They have access to it and they can give you something pretty good about it, but it's not like perfect. Well, that's why it actually does help to give you like context. You add in something like that book.
Yeah.
And then if you ask a question, like if you add a PDF of a book into your chat with, like, say, ChatGPT, then it's going to give you much clearer answers and correct answers. But even if you didn't give it the book, it could still give you probably pretty accurate answers, 70, 80%, whatever. But it does better when you give it some new information just because it has this huge, vast amount of knowledge. And what was really interesting, it kind of tie that into another, Nathaniel Whitmore was talking about this in terms of when he interacts with AI, he actually asks it to try and ask it, what is cliche about this? And what can you give me that's different? Because if AI is the aggregate of everything, it will always give you this sort of median, right? But you want it to give you something that's really unique and different, right? So he'll always ask it for that.
But that's the judgment thing. If you don't recognize that something's a cliche, or it has the potential to be a cliche, even if you don't understand it, then you're probably not going to be outputting great stuff anyway, because you need, like, a creative would do that as a matter of course.
Mm-hmm.
Like they would dismiss as like, oh, that idea is too cliched,
right.
So we won't use that.
Right.
What's new is really just old cliches anyway. But it's the judgment side of it.
Yeah. And I think what he was just trying to get at was that even when he's doing that brainstorming, he tries to get some newer, fresher perspectives. But I guess that would then go into the other discussion of like, well, do you want something that's so different that then people don't want to connect with it?
No, it always comes back to most advanced yet acceptable.
Yeah. So anyway, I really recommend listening to them talk. I guess I can follow it pretty well because I'm literally listening to this stuff all the time, or as much as I can. But I think otherwise it is a little dense at times. But it's still interesting to hear just sort of a pioneer in AI talking about the processes. I mean, they're talking about the development of the models and what does that look like? Humans versus animals versus how do these things learn? So it's quite interesting. I'll show some examples now of Sora. So this was an example of some of the text and things you can do. Animations, texture. So some of this to me, because I know this is some of the hard things for our team, it was just interesting to see that you could actually do some of this type of thing, or some of this, ASMR, and the realism of it, the sound effects. I feel like Sora does a better job with sound in general, and generally speaking, a bit better with physics.
Yeah.
Also styles, I think this is the fun thing to me when using Sora is exploring like styles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What can I build? Animation, this is me.
Right on the roof of the world. Everest behind me, look at that view. It's endless. Every step up here was worth it, absolutely incredible.
Did you script that or did?
No, I just did that. And then this I thought was quite nice, like this looks like it could be real,
Yeah. So the audio sounds very real.
Yeah, and then this is another one where I saw some of the particles and sort of the conceptual, framework, and if it connects the pieces, then it was kind of interesting. Because sometimes you see this AI stuff and it's just disjointed. It's cool, but you're like, what am I watching? And so on Sora, I've actually seen things that, kind of cut together well, so to speak. So that was just a quick demo of Sora.
Very cool. You said you made hundreds of videos.
Well, on Sora, not so much, but because the reason I can make hundreds, so I'll show you Flow next. So VO3, I have the Ultra, right? And so for fun, right, to give myself motivation, I just trying to work on ideas for Dubai 2079. This
is Erik's film.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed kind of right away was that, to be honest, image to video was pretty crap. I mean, it was sort of the mediocre, bad, I would never use this. It's not that it was like completely bad visually.
Yeah.
It's just the way it was presented, I didn't like. So this is already, you're seeing iterations of that. So
Dubai is cold in 2017.
Yeah, exactly. It always wants, because it's cyberpunk, so it always wants to show rain. I always have to be like sandstorm, please. Sandstorm.
Has anyone ever worn a turtleneck jumper in Dubai? That does get cold in January. But...
Yeah. I'm not going to get accurate scenes to what I want.
Yeah.
That one I'm going to need to carefully work with image to video, right? And I'm going to have to create every image the way I want it, get a seed, frame, and build it out. But why don't I just play around and see what kind of atmospheric stuff I can get for Dubai in 2079? And so this is like silly prompts like, give me, Tarsem Singh meets Slow Horses, which is like an Apple.
I'm a big fan of Slow
Yeah,
Horses.
I really like it.
The new episode out today.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah.
So, or meets like Born Identity. And again, I'm just trying to get a sense of kind of what VO3 can do visually.
Yeah. I like the floating...
Alert. Slow house is compromised.
I won't even show the audio. It's just the audio tends to be pretty bad. I mean, this one gets really weird, but I actually I would cut like right around there, because then all of a sudden he's walking backwards and he morphs into a car, whatever. Why is he? But that whole up to that was
So the walking backwards was just a sort of...
It's just a glitch. It's just doing its weird thing, right? And like if you look at this one, it's pretty like atmospheric, but then like they just look really like beat up. I don't know what's going on.
Just a sort of random drone there.
Yeah, but so this is what I'm talking about, stuff I just do not like, right? If you don't give it like interesting prompts, then these sort of AI looking like way too much.
Oh yeah.
It's just you know what I mean? So what I found is that, and it's got like a cinematic mode. So one of the things you can do is you can click this expand here, which I think is quite cool. Again, though, I would do it more for brainstorming, or unless I have a video, image to video, and then it would make sense to kind of morph it in the way I want. But I can do cinematic, I can do film noir, but I can build these custom to what I want, right? Let's go the other way, because I feel like some of the stuff later was a bit better. And it was some of this sort of prompting. Like this was a weird, I thought it was going to give me like an action hero, but I didn't realize that it was actually, this is one of these expanding things here. It's actually an action figure.
Oh, okay.
So it's like a
a
doll. I was like, what the hell is this? You know what I mean? So no, I mean, like to do this proper, like, you need to have character reference. You need to have image that you've built out carefully with another platform. You need to then have a prompt that you carefully craft. And so this was a lot of me just kind of playing. Like this would be like influenced by Tarsem Singh, who's a director, so you can see sort of his geometrical stuff.
It throws up interesting ideas. It just occurred to me like you could have like action figures. So I was just suddenly thinking, it's like there's a story like around a Medusa-like character who doesn't turn people into stone, but turns them into action figures.
Yeah.
And everyone's like...
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's like just that leap.
And that's what I think that's what the text to video is. If I just want to try an idea quickly, what would that look like? But like I thought some of these were better. Like this one was kind of interesting. I can't remember exactly all the prompting, but this actually looks fairly cinematic. And I mean, she then ends up like looking at the camera, or it's a bit weird that she looks over a little bit too close to camera. But something like
she doesn't look particularly concerned that she's like
yeah.
standing on the edge of.
So I mean, you'd cut early, but just
Yeah.
this idea up to that's like quite
That's okay. Yeah.
cinematic. You know what I mean? So some stuff like that is quite impressive. This other ones though are weird. It's like he looks like a bear. The physics is off. It's just
Yeah.
So quite a bit of this weird stuff. Stuff is just morphing out of nowhere. But you get this occasional ones that are really quite good. What was this one up? Where was this one? Was pretty good. Like this one's quite nice. The gun is a bit weird. Just that is like that one could actually. The gunfire is wrong, but
It's confetti.
yeah. But that itself looks like it could be a proper, cinematic shot. You know what I mean? Maybe the lights here are a bit too much.
Yeah.
And then you can tell with some of the physics issues on this, this one's a bit weird. Just doesn't look natural, and then he like jumps over and like. But like, if you could fix the physics on that, and like there was some reason he could do this,
I can picture
it might actually work.
Picture a futuristic building in Dubai with those sort of statues.
So it just gives you ideas. Like you see stuff that's like, oh, that doesn't work, but like it just gives you some ideas.
Yeah, something does work.
Like this one's kind of like, again, really weird physics there. Could I use this? Could I cut early? Is this scene here, like those first 2 or 3 seconds, I could probably use. At this point, it feels a bit too contrived for me, but this was quite cool. So here's actually something that I think one of the most powerful ways to use this, which is, this is actually from an image from some type of prototype of what they might actually build in Dubai in the future. Now I don't know if this was actually real. I didn't verify it with facts or anything, but it is an image off the internet, and this so supposedly they might build something like that, and then it built me this scene.
All right. Wow.
You know what I mean? And the prompt was, it does kind of a weird hyperlapse where the sand disappears. So that's not quite legit, but the idea was that I was coming through a sandstorm just into the city. So, could I actually get something like this to work after a few more iterations? So anyway, kind of fun stuff. One of the things which was harder, which was I was trying to, there's a scene in my film there's an alleyway, and they break through a wall because walls in Dubai at this time, part walls can be created through nanobot structures, but it just completely failed. At trying to do this, just to create these weird things, and they're always like they're just in the middle of nowhere. It's not actually like a wall that's part of a building. Yeah, exactly. More like just these Stargate things. So just this idea that a lot more work needs to go into. Well, one, I think for actual accuracy and consistency, I need to build everything out with images first. But even if just for prompting, maybe. I could get something that's more coherent, but you'd need to kind of be very careful. Now, one variation on this was we talked about a few weeks ago, where Sora we're doing that demo where they built a storyboard where you'd start kind of like you do a drawing, then that would build into another prototype. You could select from that, and then it could actually output a video. But you would need to control the style very carefully. You know what I mean? Going from one side to the other.
There must be examples of people having done that already.
So Higgsfield's got storyboards now. So once we saw that in Sora, ChatGPT or OpenAI now has on the Pro model, they opened up storyboards again. Higgsfield, you can do stuff. 3.1 literally released today, I think, with some option to do some drawing on it. So like if you have an image, like let's say I have an image of my characters, right? Or this city, right? And I want to have the shot move in to that object, then I could draw like a arrow and even put on the text like move the camera in towards that until we see a person in the window.
Oh, like you do on storyboards. So
you could literally draw on it, and it'll do that. It'll kind of. I think sometimes you can maybe see it at the start, and then it disappears, and then it tries to imitate that action.
Directing the camera action.
Yeah.
Oh, super cool.
So overall, I'm doing the 3.1 fast. I think also, of course, is if it was, I don't know if you'd actually use it for giving it to a client, but if you were actually doing an output, right, you would probably try to hone in exactly the look you're doing through on fast, and then you only then bring it into the high quality once you feel like you've got a prompt nailed down. I guess one final thing, I won't show this trailer, but I just show that really quick is to say is that one, the trailer isn't insane. I mean, it's okay, but I think I'll just play a little bit without audio here, is that, I guess about a year ago, AI could make trailers, but they were kind of like inconsistent. They were like, you could make a trailer, but it was like a mishmash of like AI stuff. Because if you stayed on anything too long, it would break basically. Yeah. So I think what we're trying to see here is that you can do like a proper looking trailer now, consistent characters. I think this one's a mix apparently of Gemini plus Sora, right? I'm sure that they, again, as I mentioned, use images to kind of to keep some of that consistency. Of course, you still have to be an editor. You still need sound design. It's not going to do all that for you. So it's maybe not 100% there, but it's getting better and better. Oh, this one was interesting. I just play it. You can maybe just get what do you feel about it? Let me see.
AI agent creates entire videos from completely scratch just by typing in your prompt.
$1,000 for a tiny toy. Labubu isn't just a collectible, it's a marketing phenomenon.
It does everything from doing the research, planning the storyboard, writing the scripts, gathering assets, animating visuals, and recording the voiceover. Now after doing all of that, it will edit it in an entire video just like this.
Why are people paying $150,000 for a tiny toy? Labubu isn't just a collectible, it's a marketing phenomenon reshaping global brands.
Now I've been secretly alpha testing this new AI agent for the last 2 months, and it's actually pretty impressive. The only downside is it's currently only available on our waitlist.
Then he asked for a list,
I've got about 250 posts. So I have this first example right here.
You have to load stuff into it.
Did you know type of post?
It's not just
Opus is a
and I've attached this link to it, which is actually
grabbing social cuts from podcasts.
Okay.
Hello, this is Brittany speaking. I'm your confident voice for social media.
And that sounds quite good, so we use the voice and now we hit send. Now Agent Opus will now do the rest. So it will start doing the research and then it will write a script and then do all of the editing, finding all of the assets that you need and turn it into a video. Now this will take a bit of time. Luckily, I already have this example for you. Here's how it works. First, it did some reasoning and it asked the script confirmation, so it gave me a first script that I could choose from. Then after that, I gave it some changes because you can literally prompt and say like, hey, make a change in this script or improve this. After that, it will give you the status of what's going on and it will show you what the transcript is. Now, if you confirm it, then it will start working on the video. After getting the transcript ready, it will start doing some research and it will find some links that it will use for the video. Then you get the option to choose between 3 different hooks. You have this text match cut, which is this. You can choose between object reveal, which is just like the object revealing, and then you have slides cut, which is the one I choose.
This is like the Vox videos.
After you've confirmed the hook that you're going for, then it will start making your video. And for me, it made this video.
Did you know the Great Pyramid of Giza used to shine like a diamond in the desert?
So here we can see an AI generated clip. And if we scroll further into the video, then we can see it's also using like news articles. And it's even like highlighting them. Like this is one of the ways you can make your videos.
It's worrying in a sense because it's quite good quality stuff. Like it's going to, it's basically taking the explainer stuff, and as long as it's getting the factual stuff right, or that's being checked, and the sourcing's being checked and stuff like that. So I think it's going to do a pretty good job of doing simple factual explainers about topics where the facts are generally accepted.
I doubt it can actually get things right, like on brand guidelines, right?
So there still has to be a human in the loop. Yeah. But it's going to
and recreation.
It's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting. I think. Well, I guess the good flip side of it is it enables a lot more, probably a lot more interesting content, because a typical Vox explainer takes a lot of work in the animating the sequences and all of that sort of stuff. So it could, like a lot of this, democratize the space as well.
Anyway, that's it for today.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.